This is something I feel like was barely even talked about or touched on or anything over the weekend. And barely any media companies are even talking about this. Alvarado ICE facility attack. 11 charged in ambush on ICE officers. So there's a ICE facility in Texas where a group of people just went and attacked them. So it says 11 people face charges after planned ambush on an ICE facility in Alvarado where a group intended, quote, to kill ICE correction officers. An Alvarado police officer was shot in the neck during an attack but expected to survive. So this was an organized, coordinated attack. Happened 10:30 p.m. on the 4th of July, so 5 days ago, and no one has really talked about this. Law enforcement officials said 10 to 12 people in black military style clothing began shooting fireworks at the facility. One or two others broke off from the group and began to damage vehicles and spray graffiti. Officials say the graffiti said things like ice pig, traitor, and other profanity. Officers believe the activity was meant to draw ICE detention officers out of the building. Two unarmed officers made their way outside to talk to the vandals. A single officer from the Alvarado Police Department was also called out to investigate. When the officer responded, he was shot in the neck by a person from the woods. So they just had like a sniper chilling out there. Officials say another person across the street then shot 20 to 30 rounds at the unarmed ICE detention officers. The jammed AR-style rifle was found at the scene as the attackers fled. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office stopped a vehicle with a single driver inside. 2 guns were found in the car as well as a Kevlar vest. Sheriff deputies stopped another 7 individuals in another area. Some were wearing body armor, some were covered in mud, and some were armed. Let's see. According to court documents, the driver told the sheriff's deputy that he met some people online and took them from Dallas to the detention center to make some noise. 12 sets of body armor, flyers, spray paint, and a flag saying resist fascism, fight oligarchy were eventually found. Other searches found masks, goggles, gloves, weapons, fireworks, and more. And these are the attempted murder suspects. So you can go through all of them. This dude looks crazy. Oh, that. So these are all the names. They're all from Texas, it looks like. One of them didn't get a mugshot for some reason. If convicted, they could face 10 years to life in prison because they're all getting charged with attempted murder. And okay, so here's a picture of all of them, all 10. Yeah, I don't think there's any surprise by the way they look. What's crazy too is apparently they started a Give Send Go, which is like a GoFundMe, to raise money for these people. So it says support DFW anti-ICE protesters, posted by this, looks like the Seattle Commune, I think on Instagram. On the night of July 4th, local police arrested 10 people outside the ICE Prairie Land Detention Facility in Alvarado, Texas. We don't know all the circumstances leading to the arrest. We do know the popular outrage and resistance to deportation is growing across the country. Blah, blah. These 10 people arrested on July 4th currently face serious charges aimed not only at ruining their lives, but signaling an authoritarian criminalization of dissent and protests against ICE. This is about, apparently, according to this page, it's about ruining their lives. They literally shot a dude in the neck. They shot 20 to 30 rounds at unarmed ICE officers. But yet, their arrests are about ruining their lives. They ruined their own lives by getting involved in this to begin with. This is some of the spray paint. So you see Ice Pig, Traitor, this Kevlar vest, all found. And what's crazy too is, so Representative Dan Goldman, I couldn't tell you what district he represents, posted this the same day that this happened. And he's not the only one to post something similar to this. This has been a big push by Democrats. So he says, allowing ICE agents to hide their faces during mass immigration arrests isn't about safety. It's about fear, intimidation, and avoiding oversight. I introduced legislation to ban agents from wearing masks and require they display identification during immigration arrests. See, this is the thing. This is what they're doing to actual facilities. Imagine if these ICE officers show their face during arrest and then they're out with their families at the park somewhere, or someone follows them home, like that's you're risking their lives. They have to cover their face because of crazy leftists like these people attacking them. If these leftists were normal, then yeah, they could be out there, face exposed, but they can't because their lives are at risk every single day just for doing their job and respecting the law. So here's a little video explaining.
There were a total of 12 sets of body armor found during various searches of vehicles, defendants, and the area around the Prairieland Detention Center. And this included a flag saying, "Resist fascism, fight oligarchy." Law enforcement officers found spray paint. They found flyers such as "Fight ICE Terror with Class War."
Yeah, that sounds exactly like the people that ambushed firefighter. Maybe it's the same people. Who knows? You never know these people. Apparently, they travel a lot to protest, so it's a lot of the same people. And this wasn't the only time this happened this weekend. This is reporting from Monday. Man with an assault rifle killed after shooting at a Border Patrol facility in Texas. Not the same part of Texas. This is a different part of Texas. A man with an assault rifle fired dozens of rounds at federal agents at the U.S. Border Patrol facility in Texas on Monday, injuring a police officer before authorities shot and killed him. Authorities identified the shooter as Ryan Luis Mosqueda, believed to be 27, who they said shot agents at exiting the building, which is near the U.S.-Mexico border. That's absolutely insane. Same weekend. And apparently his father was out the night before looking for him. They didn't report much on this. I don't know if more details were reported since then, but this was on Monday. And then also, of course, Portland has to always be thrown into it. July 4th protests at Portland ICE office lead to 4 more arrests. So it says 4 more people were arrested July 4th outside U.S. Immigration Portland field office, which has become the focus of protests. The arrests bring the total number of people facing federal charges to 22 since early June. Jeremy Andrew Hummel is charged with damaging government property, accused of spray painting a derogatory message on the plywood protecting the building's guard shack. Andrew Wyatt Markham is charged with assault, accused of kicking a federal officer who was running after him. Riley Freeman has been charged with assaulting a federal officer with a deadly or dangerous weapon and possession of an unregistered destructive device. So this is 3 separate events at ICE facilities in one weekend. This is absolutely insane. And all these people still want to act like the ICE people are the bad guys. They're not. They're upholding law and order. They are doing their jobs. They are taking the illegals that are here in our country that should not be here, and they're sending them home to their home countries. Apparently, that's the worst thing ever. And clearly, all these people must be unemployed, because how do you spend all your time just protesting? And like, what? How are you willing just to like throw your life away like this? Like shooting at officers, attacking officers, you're ruining your life doing that. And that's worth it to you? Like, no, you're clearly bored and you probably don't have a job or any purpose in life. So you're trying to be a part of these movements. It's absolutely insane. So Tom Homan, did I not have the video of Tom Homan? Oh, here it is. Tom Homan responds to the Portland one and said he's actually going to Portland himself.
Well, not only that, I'm going to head to Portland. I'm going out there. They're not going to bully us or you know, we're going to do the job. We're going to do it in Portland too. But for the mayor of New York City and Chicago, President Trump made it clear 2 weeks ago. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary cities. Why? Not because they're blue, because we know they're releasing public safety threats to the streets every day. Like Florida, we agree with all the sheriffs in Florida. They're taking our detainers. They're not releasing illegal alien public safety threats. They're calling us. So we can spend less resources in Florida and send them to New York, to Chicago, and to Portland, and L.A. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary cities. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the jail, then we'll go to the community and we'll find him. Or we'll do more worksite enforcement. We'll find them at the worksite. And when we do these things and we ramp up that enforcement, we're going to find others who aren't a criminal target, but they're in the country illegally. We're going to arrest them too. So what you're going to get, sanctuary cities, is exactly what you don't want. More agents in your communities and more collateral arrests. That's what we're going to do. We're doubling down, tripling down. So for those who say they want to keep ICE out of the city, good luck with that.
This is the thing where they're saying, like, a lot of people like Karen Bass and other liberals from like New York, Chicago, are saying that, like, oh, they're targeting blue cities, they're targeting Democrats. No, they're targeting cities that are not cooperating. Like he said, he doesn't need as many people in Florida because Florida is cooperating and Florida is helping along. And many cities in Florida are helping along. So they can take those people that would normally need to be there and put them in another area where they're not cooperating, like Los Angeles, like Portland, like Chicago. They need to spread them out everywhere to help get these people out, because that is his job. That is the job of ICE. And at the end of the day, they can fight all they want, but federal law trumps state law. So they're allowed to do this. And I want to show this too. This is awesome. So this is from the Homeland Security Twitter page. This says, American Patriot. On Independence Day, violent rioters targeted an ICE facility in Portland area, assaulting law enforcement and vandalizing federal property and burning the American flag. They always burn the American flag. In response, an ICE officer raised a new flag in its place. This is the type of unwavering patriotism and love of America that our law enforcement officers display on the job day in and day out. Instead of being thanked for their heroic work, our law enforcement is facing nearly 700% increase in assaults against them. You can see the flag right here flying high. And that's the thing too. This is all the assaults in just one weekend, and these are the ones that just reported on, and they're not even being reported on that much. Like the AP found this one, but this one's from Oregon Live, so a news site that's specifically Oregon related for the Portland, and this is from a local Fox channel for the Texas one. The mainstream media is not reporting on this stuff. So if you're an everyday person watching CNN or MSNBC, you don't know this stuff's happening. But if you have to actually look for this stuff. But it's sad that these ICE officers have such an increase on assaults against them just for doing their job. And this is exactly why they can't expose their faces and they have to keep their mask on. Or else their families will be in danger just from them going out and living their lives. They will be attacked any way, shape, or form. Because there's already people on Twitter doxing ICE officers' hotels and where they're staying at. There's multiple pages I've seen where people expose, oh, they're at the Holiday Inn here. Go get them. Oh, they're at here. Like the crazy leftists won't hesitate to expose them. So and they're going to keep keeping their mask on, and they should. And I hope stuff like this eventually stops. You know, I guess if you arrest enough bad people, maybe the crime will go down. That's the idea. So maybe all these crazy leftists will eventually stop, because this is sad to see that these people, even when they're at the ICE facility, have to fear for their lives. It's crazy. And the media should be ashamed of themselves for not talking about this more and defending ICE.